Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video. As you can see, I've bought another car. We're going to head to the yard in it in a minute. Chris doesn't even know I've bought it yet, but he does trust my instinct, so fingers crossed he does approve. This car actually belonged to another trader, a classic car trader that I know, and it was actually his wife's car. And he mentioned to me a little while ago that he might be getting rid of it, and I said, if you are, give me a shout. I'm sure we can have a deal. I'm interested. I'll try and buy the car off you. So I spoke to him yesterday. We had a bit of a deal, bit of backwards and forwards. We struck up the right deal and I've purchased the car. I'm going to head to the yard because it is too windy at the moment, and then I'll give you an update of what's actually wrong with the car, what we need to do to it and what the plan is for it. Let's get to the yard and show Chris. Before we do get started with today's video, I want to say a massive thank you to today's sponsor, and that is Carly. For those of you guys that don't know what Carly it is an OBD2 diagnostic and coding tool with an app on your mobile phone. It's very, very easy to use. You simply plug this in to your OBD2 socket, connect it to your phone, and you're ready to go. The app itself is actually free, and there is quite a few free features that you can do with the Carly with the free app. There is also a paid version that works out roughly about £5 a month, and that will support one manufacturer, so BMW and across the BMW range with Mini. There's also another paid version which works out about £6 a month, and it actually unlocks it to use across the board on most modern cars today. The dongle itself is £65 plus shipping, but as you all know, diagnostic, take it to your garage, it probably works out about that same price just for one plug-in. You'll own this forevermore and can use it yourself to do various code reads and also change a lot of the features in your car. Let's get this plugged in and show you some of its coding capabilities. We're now on the main home page and I've clicked straight on to BMW X5. It's already on there. We've connected it up by pressing the connect button at the bottom, and straight away it's come up health. I did already check this car, but we'll go through and do it again. So check for issues. It's now done a search and it's come up with all of the systems that have been checked, and as you can see, most of them are green. There is one engine fault, and when we click on that, it does say there Limbus communication. You can go in even as much as search for more information, click on that and it will send us straight to Google and give us a probability of what's possibly causing that and what the most common problems are that people have researched on Google. So we'll go back into that, back out of that, and you can also go obviously and clear all of the issues. So we'll now let that clear. We're now going to move into customization. This is one of the main features of the Carly. So continue to coding. Check coding probabilities. After that initial search, it's come up with number of ECUs, 9. We click OK, and here we're going to start with dashboard and instrument cluster. So we'll click on that. It's now created a backup of the original settings, and it does that automatically, so that if you do make any mistakes or you want to go back to all of your original settings, they are in there and it will reload that straight back on. So we click OK. Digital speedometer on or off, true speed, correct speed, permanent speedometer lighting. Now in most cars the lights, the dash lights, don't come on until you turn the lights on at night. So if we click on that and code now, okay, code it anyway, tick the box to say that we agree with the code, and off we go. We get a little beep there, and that has now coded the ignition lights to be on permanently. So that was just a brief description of the Carly diagnostic and coding tool. It's a very, very good tool to have. So I'll put the link for it in the description, and I want to thank Carly once again for sponsoring today's video. Let's get on with the car. You will all be pleased to know I did get Chris's approval there. Sometimes it's a bit difficult. A deal comes up right at the last minute, can't get hold of Chris, you have to strike, and this come up and I think that it was a good buy. Just a brief description of what, you know, what's actually wrong with this car. I mean, we won't go too mad, but as you can see, there is marks everywhere, and if you have a look at the wheels, they are curbed very, very badly, and these are quite expensive to get done because they are the polished faces on these wheels. Moving around the car, these wheel arches are very, very chipped up. I mean, we're not going to know how bad they are until we do give it a clean up, but it's all quite discoloured as well. And I understand that this car hasn't actually gone through the process of a wash in over a year because he uses car washes and they're all shut. Again, that back wheel is in better condition, but it does have some curb rash all the way around it. There's little marks, and I don't really think there's many dinks, but there's quite a lot of little marks and chips all around it, and because it's a white car, it really does stand out. Excuse me. Down there on the bumper, we can see it's lightly touched something, it's spidered it up there, and it has chipped some of the paint off. Again, on the tailgate, we've got a few little scuffs and chips. Excuse me. Got quite a nasty scratch going right through there, but again, that will polish out. And on the wheel arch, we got a few little chips, and again, we're not going to know how bad it is until we clean it up. Exactly the same with this wheel, curb rash quite bad, and a lot of oxidisation in the middle there. You got this black, I'm not really sure what's called that. It's like a scuff pad to stop you keep scratching it on the way in, but that's quite worn out. And again, that wheel is probably the worst one. It's in quite poor condition. Moving on to the paintwork side of it, this I would say is actually the worst part of it, and that has definitely been painted before, and it is slightly off colour. It's like more of a cream to the rest of the car, so it's had a repair done there, and I'm not really sure why that's happened. Maybe something to do with the prep of it, but that's going to need addressing as well. That's quite bad. On the inside, very, very nice car, drives very nice, but again, needs a really, really good valet inside. In the back, I think we got a bit of, I thought that possibly a bit of paint, but it's not. So again, just needs a good clean out. The one thing I did notice that I didn't notice when I actually purchased it is actually a 7-seater. There's another 2 leather chairs there that pop up, so that's another really nice feature. The plan is, first things first, it was quite hard to get it booked in. We're going to drop it straight over Smarts and have those wheels refurbed, because I've got someone I think that I can sell this car to. I've rung him up, I've mentioned it, he said he's very interested, he'd like to come over and have a look in a few days. So we've got a bit of a chance here to go get those wheels refurbed, get it cleaned up, and actually see if we could sell it just with the wheels done and a bit of cleaning up. I'm sure we can make this car look at 10 times better than what it does at the moment. Let's get it dropped over Smarts and have those wheels done. Guys, look how nice they come out. He refused to put the centre caps back in them. He said they're too rough and it really makes the wheels look rubbish. They've gone back to complete original, exactly how they was. They do need a little wipe over. They got bits of tyre stuff on them when they've just put the wheels on, but how lovely do they look. JW Smarts, Maidstone and the Isle of Sheppey. I'll put all their phone numbers and that in the description down below. Let's get back to the yard, get this done. Just got back to the yard. Chris has started bringing the hoover out and all the bits and pieces. Just before he did get started, on the inside, I wanted to pick up on the wheel caps. He did say to me they was quite poor, and I did notice before we took them over there, so I've just laid them all out on the back there. And I think you would agree, they would have really spoiled those new wheels. So I have ordered a new set off of eBay, and they was about £10. And I also ordered the little M badges that go in here, and they was £2.79 for all 4. In fact, there was 5 in the packet. So fingers crossed, we have got a plan to sell this car to another trader, and hopefully he'll take it as it is, and then I can just give them to him as and when I see him. But it is quite mucky inside. I never really got down to it before, but there's quite a lot of mess in here. It's very, very dirty, and we plan on giving this a real good clean. We are just waiting for AutoSmart to arrive with some products, because we're absolutely running low on everything. But as you can see, it's quite mucky, so let's get to it. Josh has just arrived. Let's spend a few quid with him and get some supplies. It's grab a couple of bits, guys, but we got carried away. I see this on the back of his truck, and so many of you mention, Rob, you need a wash mitt, stop using that sponge. So we got a proper wash mitt, proper microfiber drying towel, some silicone glass cleaner, some tyre shine and bumper dressing, some rags and some blue towel. Let's get that car looking lovely. I just thought we'd cut there for a minute. While Chris was doing the front, I was busy doing the back. And I folded these seats up and folded up those two little seats. And if that guy don't end up buying this, what a lovely selling point. They don't actually look like they've ever been used. Chris, can you pull that little clip on the back of one of them? Just flip it straight back down for me. You just literally pull it up and push it down. I wanted to show how, and that's it. And that turns back into your boot space. What a brilliant little idea, and I genuinely didn't realise it had those 7 seats. Lovely, let's crack on. That is pretty much the inside done. We've got the mats over there. We need to give them a good clean. Possibly might even need to give them a wash, but we'll always put them in the boot after. But everything is all cleaned up. I'm going to do the glass last, but guys, check out that inside. Look how much better and tidier and nice that looks. And the back looks even better. Just looks fantastic. It'll look lovely once the mats are back down. It's a lovely big boot with those seats folded down. And it's still quite a reasonable space, even with the seats up. But I think you would have to agree, it does really, really look nice. There is some little bits on this car, like that door panel could do with a repair. Obviously something's got caught in that or shut in it, but it's not something we're going to do. We are trying to trade this one as it is. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are our cleaning skills getting any better? Let's get on and actually get the outside of this done and get all the glass cleaned. Just before we do get started, guys, I don't really condone jet washing engines. I know a lot of people do like a clean engine, but I do try not to do it. But because this is just a black cover and all this white under here is quite mucky, I'm actually going to give it a little bit of a blow off. And we're going to take a picture of it now, and then we'll just include a little picture of it after as well. Just try and improve it. All down here you can see it's all quite mucky, quite dusty, and we're not actually going to be jet washing any of the engine. It's just the covers, and of course all up around this scuttle panel is quite mucky as well, and inside the bonnet there. So it'd just be nice to smarten it all up. So we get that bit done first. How much better that looks. Just all those little white bits blowing out all of the dust, and of course all inside the bonnet now all looks really nice as well. Don't forget, I've only done this because it is a cover. I'm not jet washing the engine. That's not something that I want to do. I suppose now we're going to move on and give this a nice wash. Sorry guys, that must have been the fastest wash ever. It was a mad rush. Before we started washing it, Chris said give him a ring, tell him he's ready to come and look at. He called me and said I'm going to be there in 30 minutes, which is about another 8 minutes he's going to be here. Look how lovely it come up. It's undeniable. The car needs paint. You can see it there clear as day. The front and the back bumpers, in my opinion, both want painting, but quite a lot of the little scuffs and marks was coming off with a sponge. You got some tar there. Unfortunately, we used all of our tar remover on that last van we bought, the Tarmackers van, but it has come up very, very nicely. Looks so much more presentable and nice. You can see even that back bumper looks slightly a different colour. I don't think that has had paint work. I think that's just plastic metal and it's faded over the years, but it's gonna need some paint because of these chips. But overall, we're really happy with how it's turned out. And if he does buy it for the price we've asked, me and Chris have had a nice day's money each. And it genuinely hasn't took no more than a day to do. Beautiful little car. Don't quite know how it's going to go, guys, because a lot of people are quite camera shy, but I am going to ask the guy if he minds being on video, just so that we can integrate a little bit more of it. Chris has just gone up to open the gate to let him in, so hopefully keep your fingers crossed. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, hit that thumbs up, turn on the notification bell, and check out the merchandise. The link is in the description. Let's see if we can sell this car. A little bit gutted there, guys. He wouldn't be on camera, but as you can see, it has sold. And me and Chris just done a right out of that. In fact, let's go in the workshop and I'll tell you exactly what we did earn out of it. But another one turned around and quite gone. Happy with the outcome there. It's been a day's work and me and Chris have actually just earned £600 out of that car. So that's like £300 each, which is really, really nice. I won't tell you what I actually paid for the car. I did get it a little bit cheaper than trade, and I've traded it to another dealer. And just out of respect for him, because he's going to be selling that car, it would be wrong of me to actually mention how much I've sold it to him for, because he did say he's going to use it for a while, but he probably will go again with it. So it's best, obviously, not to say the price. Kind of, me and Chris have kind of got a bit of a motto that we go by, and sort of I've always stood by it. I think since the day I started trading cars, I've always been pretty much the same, and that is leave enough in it for the next man. That has served me well over the years, because if you leave enough in it for the next man, you never have nothing sitting around. I've said in previous videos time and time again, probably all the cars that we have across the channel and all the cars that we do buy and sell through the trade, I could probably, you know, make a few phone calls and sell each and every one of those cars. So yeah, that is going to be the end of today's video. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you Friday in the next one.